Don't wait for the world to ask to kiss your baby because your baby is fugly. Welcome to Bonus Week, Week 5, Day 30 of starting your side hustle. We finished our month-long journey last week, and this week is all about the lessons I wish we'd had time for. Today's focus is synthetic demand creation, jargon for how to engineer needs instead of chasing trends. Today is a variation on a theme we touched on last week when we were talking about partnerships and how instead of chasing, you make them come to you. We're going to try to broaden that practice beyond partnerships and explore how to make the whole market come to you. A real-life example today is Howard Schultz. It took us 30 days of standing in line, but we finally got to Starbucks. There's nothing that I can tell you about them that you don't already know. Schultz's idea, which he got back in the 80s, was to put like fresh ground coffee into a spoon, add a pinch of sugar, a little bit of water, and then like heat the spoon over a flame until the mixture bubbled and separated into an oily layer, which was then cooled and hardened into no way. That's crack. What he really introduced was a sense of community, the kind where everyone has white, milk foamy lips and is all jittery. No, wait, that's crack again. Take 2, take 3, I guess. Starbucks is now a lifestyle brand, a global phenomenon that says, hey, I'm looking for any reason to leave my office for 20 minutes. Or, hey, I'd rather have this coffee than a savings account or an original thought. Come to think of it, we should probably just stop using Howard Escobar, Pablo Schultz, whatever his name is, as an example of business leadership. Okay, let's apply synthetic demand creation to your hustle. The most important questions to answer. 1. What latent customer frustrations could you reframe as a must-have priority? Latent frustration is that nagging annoyance your audience tolerates or ignores until you show them that it's actually a big deal. And 2, how could you create FOMO mechanics that bypass traditional marketing? Why do these questions matter? Because most people chase the product version of pumpkin lattes. You shouldn't. Not at first, at least. The first thing you should do is dig for hidden frustrations, those meh, I'll live with it kind of pain points, and then artfully reframe them as urgent, must-solve problems. In other words, you should turn nice-to-haves into can't-live-withouts. Do that, and you're inventing a whole new category in your industry. That's how you get people lighting up for something they didn't even know they needed yesterday. And on the topic of FOMO, fear of missing out, if I didn't say it before, how cool would it be to engineer everything we just talked about right into your customer experience? If you can create mechanics that make people need to be in the club, it'll let your customers do your marketing for you. That's mass delegation, super skill number 3 on crack. Okay, take a moment and try to answer the day 30 questions for your hustle without AI. And before you listen to the next section, 28-day Ivy League MBA. I personally think it's useful to try to answer questions without AI first, but if you'd rather do that, the AI teaching assistant prompt will drop with today's case study in a couple hours. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out Lunch Break Millionaire Day 0, or go over to superserious.com where I'm posting daily transcripts. The AI prompts are there too. That's it. Hustle smarter. Day 30, part 2 of Lunch Break Millionaire, where we turn whatever you're eating for lunch into an Ivy League degree. Today, we're going to order off the secret menu. And I mean any restaurant's secret menu, because that's what all secret menus are. They're demand engineering. They're an exclusive secret that everyone knows and breaks up the tedium of your normal taco or burger or salad with FOMO, fear of missing out. In MBA speak, that's called synthetic demand creation. In plain English, it's how you engineer blue meth. Okay, creating synthetic demand is all about reframing overlooked frustrations and then architecting a kind of aha moment that makes people want what you're selling, even if they didn't know they needed it yesterday. Starbucks never sold coffee. They sold a new sugar ritual, a status symbol, a Wi-Fi spot that smells of coffee and gives you, a third place between home and work where you can just tune out. That's synthetic demand creation. You make the market come to you by changing what people value. You replace nicotine with sugar. How? That's the real MBA question. Start with latent demand mapping. That's jargon for all the needs and desires customers have that exist below the surface, where people either don't realize what they want, can't articulate it, or they're unable to satisfy it because the product or service isn't available yet, because they lack information about it, or because they don't have the means to access it. The AI prompt in the post description later today can help you find and use research, but you'll need to supplement that with real interviews and observations that can help you spot those nagging annoyances your real world audience tolerates, stuff they've accepted as just the way it is. Then, step 2, you use narrative framing. It's a fancy way of saying, let's tell a good story. Use narrative framing to turn that frustration into a must-have. For example, Howard Schultz didn't say, here's fancier coffee. He said, you deserve a daily escape, a place to belong. Suddenly, a $4 latte isn't a luxury. It's self-care, it's community, it's identity. Next, step 3, layer in FOMO mechanics, fear of missing out again. This is where you create urgency and social proof without feeling salesy. Think waitlists, limited time drops, exclusive memberships, influencer seating. The trick is to make every adopter feel like they're insiders, people who get it before the crowd does. Use storytelling to make your offer contagious. Show rather than tell how life is better on your side of the fence. And always give your first fans something to brag about, a badge, a story, a first to know moment. Okay, let's tie this back to today's questions. When you ask what latent customer frustration could be reframed as a must-have priority, you're really looking for an emotional lever that, once pulled, makes people see the old way as unacceptable. And when you ask, how could you create FOMO mechanics that bypass traditional marketing, you're thinking about engineered scarcity, exclusivity, social momentum, tools that turn curiosity into action. Quickest exercise ever. Take a sec and pick one frustration your audience tolerates. Write down 3 ways you could reframe it as urgent or aspirational, then brainstorm one FOMO mechanic. Maybe a founders club, a private beta, or tell a friend, skip the line kind of thing. Test it on a few real people. It's like a good joke. If their eyes light up, you're on the right track. Keep telling yourself the best hustlers manufacture demand. That's how you hustle smarter. This is day 30, part 3 of Lunch Break Millionaire. This is the segment where we #build in public, where I answer the daily questions every hustle should, using the MBA skills we just learned and showing my work, sharing how I'm building my hustle from scratch. No filters, just the real journey. You don't need to actually like or subscribe. I'm not doing this for the clicks, but if you're leveling up from other creators you follow or know, introduce us. I want to learn from them and help them level up too. We all deserve better than just making rich people richer. Okay, 30 years ago, when I was a younger man, a young hustler, I actually thought the only way to win was to out-feature the competition. Never true. I am only a tiny, tiny bit wiser now, and I've flipped my focus from features to the reason you build features, the frustration users feel. In my current hustle, that frustration is what creators all think but rarely talk about, being invisible to their own audience because of the algos, the large platforms. Creators just shrug and accept it. That's just how it is. But I can reframe it. Why are you letting someone else, something else, decide who sees your work? Suddenly, what was background noise, an annoyance you feel, that everyone feels, becomes a must-fix crisis. If I do it right, that shift creates synthetic demand. Creators start to see algorithmic control, the way I do, as an existential threat. As for creating FOMO, super simple. I'm building a waitlist. I'm not even doing it on purpose. I just don't have the time to help everyone one-on-one. So, waitlist, sorry. The folks I'm helping early on, well, they're getting their own mobile apps. I'm giving them a secret menu, like we talked. They're getting their own browser plugins, which means I'm helping them give their audience their secret menu. And if I find the time down the road when I have some cool working examples of real creators using my stuff, I'll showcase them. I'll show how they took control and started being the algo. The results, hopefully, Creators will start DMing me to get access just so they won't feel left out of the next wave of creator empowerment. Tiny wave of middle fingers to the algos of the world. My takeaway from today's exercise, and I hope it's your takeaway too, don't wait for demand. Don't wait for the world to ask to kiss your baby, because it's fugly. Don't wait for demand. Create it. Find the pain your audience is numb to and get into the pain relief business, the change the world business. Crank up the urgency around the pain and the solution.